So into week 5 now. On the Monday, it's the same usual swimming session. Increased time of the swim, that's just 25 minutes now, with a short rest halfway through. Varying strokes throughout the 25 minutes just to prevent boredom, and then the usual cooling down afterwards to prevent injury and be ready for the next session. So on the Wednesday, make sure that the correct muscles are stretched before the main session, so that's the main leg muscles, so quadriceps, hamstrings, gastrocnemius as well. So just starting with a slower cycle just to get the blood flowing and easing the leg muscles into the exercise, and then it's the regular interval training session, but with only 1 minute at 60% of the maximal heart rate. So that's just only 1 minute really to recover after the sprint before they get back into the 5-minute standard cycle, and then again the sprint. Thursday, making sure that knee strengthening exercises are continuing, so making sure that the wall sit is being held for longer and longer just to increase strength of the knees. On the Saturday, so stretch the leg muscles in the warm-up, gastrocnemius, hamstring, quadriceps. So sprinting is going to be introduced now just to, vary training a little bit really. Preventing tedium, and also it does focus on muscular strength using explosive bursts of cardiovascular exercise. So just doing 20-meter sprints 5 times with a rest of 1 minute between each sprint. It's only a short session, but it is maximal exercise of 90 to 100% of the maximal heart rate. So cool down is going to remove lactic acid that's been built up during the session, because it is mainly the lactic acid system that's going to be used, unlike the other sessions. So this is obviously going to prevent DOMS and just remove all of the lactic acid. So week 6 now. So Monday, warming up, making sure stretching the leg muscles and triceps and biceps brachii, trapezius as well. A good warm-up stretch for the trapezius is to just pull your head forwards with your chin towards your neck as if you were nodding, and just hold it there for about 10 seconds. So increased reps for exercises, for all of the exercises, and also sprints as well, but less sprints than the session in the previous week. This is just because that focused solely on sprints, whereas this we're doing other exercises as well. I also have decreased the rest periods again, so it's only 20-second breaks between the exercises. That's just helping to achieve overload. And the plank this week is beginning at 2 minutes, and it's still again going to be increased by 10 seconds every time that it is performed or repeated. On Wednesday, so just making sure that you stretch before and after the continuous cycle, which has been increased again in time. Only a short rest in between. And the same for Saturday, making sure you're stretching before and after, and stretching the correct muscles, especially on Saturday because it's the more intense interval training session, but with running again. And then the final day is just making sure that the knee strengthening exercises are being continued right till the very end, and then also they can still be carried on throughout life outside the training program. Don't have to stop trying to strengthen the knee after the training program has finished. Continue to do that. It's going to just help strengthen it even more. It's not going to do any harm. So just the review now. So obviously at 3 weeks, the test is going to be the Cooper run. As I mentioned before, the Cooper run is going to be performed just to see how the client is getting along, see how their aerobic fitness is doing. And then at the end of the program, at the end of the 6 weeks, I'm going to repeat the bleep test because it's a bit of a bigger test. I'm going to repeat that just to see what they've achieved, whether they've met their targets and whatnot. So some alternatives If the knee operation recovery is longer than expected and the client is therefore unable to start potentially, doing the running sessions, the client can just continue to perform low impact exercises just such as swimming, just to protect the knee really. Just one last thing then, just going to quickly discuss an effective warm-up and cool-down, just so you know that. So an effective warm-up has to contain several components, ensuring that a reduced risk of injury is going to be put in place. So a general warm-up should always be performed just to raise the pulse of the individual and then also loosen the muscles. Then after this, they can introduce specific static and dynamic stretches. For example, making sure your leg muscles are stretched prior to a leg workout. A warm-up is very, very important because it reduces the risk of injury, it increases heart rate, it raises body temperature. Also, a warm-up aims to increase the pliability and elasticity of muscles that are going to be used during the session of exercise, and also the major joints of the body need to be prepared for the exercise as well. Another key element of a warm-up is mental preparation for exercise. Now, the purpose of a cool down is to return the body to its normal pre-exercise state. So this is done by bringing the heart rate back down, returning muscles to their original length, keeping the capillaries dilated. This is so that oxygen can move into the muscle tissue with ease and remove any waste products that have been built up during exercise, which is such as lactic acid, which is a main cause of DOMS, as I mentioned in the program, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. So therefore, cool down prevents DOMS. So this buildup of lactic acid that is brought about by exercise is down to a fuel shortage. So the energy system that produces the lactic acid must be recruited. When intense exercise stops, the pulse will then start to be lowered, and then the athlete can begin to stretch, assisting the functions of the cool down. So developmental stretching is simply just stretching the working muscles, holding it for roughly 10 seconds so it has time to relax. This method should be repeated several times in order to fully relax the muscle, as well as returning it to its original length. PNF stretching, or proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, is another stretching method which passively stretches and then contracts the muscles. It helps to increase flexibility as well as muscular strength and is used massively in rehabilitation. So, just examples, so you position the muscles so that they're being stretched, then you contract these muscles for roughly 5 seconds while sufficient resistance is being applied. So say you're laying on your back and you've got your leg raised, if another person is pushing on your leg, applying that resistance. Or you can do that using, a wall or whatever. Then the targeted muscles can relax for about 30 seconds before repeating the whole process. So PNF stretching is very much recommended as part of a cool down, and that can be fed into the programs as well as things such as yoga, which helps out as well.